morning, students. I hope you all are fine. Let's start with the today's topic. So, you know about linear equations. A linear equation means a equation which have degree 1. We have studied how to solve the linear equation. What do you mean by solving of linear equation? Yes, right. Solving of linear equation means what? Finding out values of variable, values of unknown. If there is a variable one x, then we have to find the value of that x. If there are two variables, then we have to find the value of two variables. In your previous lecture, you have studied what are linear equation in your two variable. In fact, in your previous class also you have studied it. Now we are going forward with that topic, and we are going to learn today Cramer's rule, which will help uh, which will help us to find out the values, the solution of an simultaneous equation. What is simultaneous equation? Yes, simultaneous equation means the equation which consists of two or more linear equations. Okay, so you have in your previous standard, I think so, you have learned about the matrices and how to find the determinant of the matrix. So we will just revise it so you can clearly uh, recall what you have learned in your previous standards. Okay, so today's topic is linear equation in two variable, which you all know, which you have studied. Okay, and now we will see determinant. Okay, so what is determinant? This is the form of a determinant. We write determinant in this ABCD pattern, where there are two vertical lines in which we write a determinant. So what is determinant give? We just cross multiply this A and D and C and D, and we subtract it. So we get a multiplication of two cross numbers, and subtracting them we get the value of determinant. Okay, so now you have to answer and you have to solve the following determinants. Okay, so the first one. So what will be its value? You have to just cross multiply this 5 into 9, and then this 7 multiplied by 3, and you have to subtract it. So what will be the answer? Yes. Huh? This is the cross multiplication, and the answer will be 24. I hope you're following these steps. See, you have to write the determinant in a steps only. You don't have to write it as like a direct answer. If there is a MCQ or anything, you can write it. But in writing the determinant in a sum, the sum will be of 2 marks maximum. So you have to write the steps in. Okay. And the next one is -8 -3 2 4. See, be careful of the negative signs. Okay. So what will be the first step here? We will cross multiply this. So this is -8 multiplied by 4 and -3 multiplied by 2. Very good. And the next, which is -26. Very good. You have now learned what are determinants and how to find the values of determinants. So based on this determinant topic, we are going to learn the next topic. So what determinants do usually? What they do? Determinant. What is the meaning of determinant? So determinant of a something, determinant of a some number, determinant of some object causes is to be a particular kind or to happen in a particular way. Okay, so in other way we can say that determinant is a factor that makes something happen or leads directly to the decision. So determinants, what they are? They are the decision makers. Okay, so in our We should be like determinants only. We should take our decisions ourselves. Okay, we should not depend on the others, and we should never think about the other things like what will people say, what will they think of us. No, we should not think about that. We should only do a right thing. Okay, so that's what a determinant do. Determinants make a decision. It's a decision maker. Okay, so we should also be like a determinant. We should be also the decision makers of our life. Okay, so this is all about determinant. So now we will learn about the next one, which is main topic of this lecture, which is Cramer's rule. So Cramer's rule is given by Gabriel Cramer. Okay, so he is a Gabriel Cramer. Okay, so what he does? Gabriel Cramer was Genevan mathematician. Cramer showed promise in mathematics from early age. At 18, he received doctorate. See, at 18. At 18, we are in using WhatsApp or we are watching movies, but he received a doctorate at 18. At 20, he was a co-chair of mathematics at University of Geneva. See, co-chair, that's a very big position. Okay, just like in our school, there is a principal. So uh, he is like a assistant principal, or like you can say partner. Okay, and in 1750, he published the Cramer rules, and which we used to find the unknown solution, unknown variable of equations, and using the determinants. So this rule we use till now. Okay, this is that all about Gabriel Cramer, who invented Cramer's rule. Now we will see how to solve the equation using Cramer's rule. Okay, so the question you will get in your exam will be solve the simultaneous equation using Cramer's rule. Okay, so what is Cramer's rule? Now we will consider one equations. A1x, B1y, C1 is equal to 0, and A2x, B2y plus C2 is equal to 0. So this is a system of equation. Like there are two linear equations, so that's why we have written system of linear equation. Now, how are we going to use this to get the formulas of the Cramer's rule? You can say formulas or method to solve, get the unknowns of a Cramer's rule. Okay, so what are we going to do? First, we are going to write a determinant of a numbers, which means we are going to write the determinants of this coefficient. We are not going to consider this constant here. C1 and C2, we are not going to consider in our first step. Our first step will be finding a determinants of this coefficient of x and y, which is A1, B1, A2, B2. So we'll write it as A1, B1, and A2, B2. This is our determinant. The next step will be, so first of all, we will, this is all about determinants for the coefficients of x and y. We have not considered constant here. In our next step, there is a constant. So the next step will be finding a constant, which is dx. So what are we going to do in this term? So whenever there is x, determinant of x, so there is a x, so we are going to remove this x column. This was a x column, right? X coefficient, A1 and A2 are x coefficients. So we removed this x coefficients and we inserted or substituted the constant in the place of the x coefficients. The constants are C1 and C2. So in this case, we have found the determinant of x, which means we have removed this coefficients of x and substituted the constants here and found out the determinants. Okay, so this is the second step. We have to find the determinant of x, and the next one is determinant of y. Similar to this, but in this case we are going to remove this y coordinates. So there are only a constant in place of y coordinates, which is C1 and C2. Okay, you just have to keep remember it. When there is the first step will be we have to find the determinants of the number where constant is not included. In the next step, second step, we have to find a determinant of x where we are going to neglect or we are going to remove the coefficient of x coordinates and substitute constant in this place. In the third step, we are going to find determinant of y where we are going to remove this uh, y coordinates, which is b1 and b2, and substitute uh, constants which are c1 and c2. Okay, and we will find the determinants of three of this. Okay, so after finding the determinants, what are we going to do? So we are going to make divide this dx by d to get value of x. See, it's simple process. You have to just find determinant. In your previous methods of finding the values of x and y, you have you have solved using elimination method, substitution method. There are long method, but in Cramers rule you just have to focus on finding determinants of a number. Okay, so this is x is equal to dx and d1. Okay, dx divided by d, so we will get the value of x. And the next step will be to find the value of y. We are going to divide determinant of y with determinant of the whole equations. So this is the Cramer's rule. We first find the normal determinant of a numbers, that is of coefficient. In the second step, we substitute constant in the place of x coefficients. In the third step, we substitute constant in the place of y coordinates. And next, we will, for finding value of x and y, we divide this determinant of x and determinant of y by this determinant. Okay, so this is Cramer's rule. Uh, I will show you clear to understand this clearly. I will show you one example how to solve this while using real equations. Okay, I have shown you the general form. Now I will show you how to use it while solving the equations. Okay, so the question will be, I have said to you, solve the simultaneous equation using Cramer's rules. Now consider these two equations. 5x plus 3y is equal to minus 11. 2x plus 4y is equal to minus 10. Now, what are we going to do? First tell me uh, the terms a1, b1 and c1. What are they? Right, a1 is 5, b1 is 3 and c1 is minus 11. And the second a2, b2, c2, right, 2, 4 and minus 10. This is all. Now first step is what? Using Cramer's rule. So the first step is what? We will find a determinant of this a1, b1 and a2, b2. So we'll write it as 5, 3 and 2, 4. Okay. So what are we going to do? How are we going to find the determinant? We will cross multiply these numbers and subtract them. So we get 5 multiplied by 4 and 3 multiplied by 2, which is 20 minus 6. So which is equal to 14. Okay. So next, in the next step, what was the next step? Yes, we will remove this x coordinates, x coefficients and substitute this c constant, which is minus 11 and minus 10. So which is this. Same, we are going to cross multiply, which is minus 11 multiplied by 4, minus 10 multiplied by 3. So it is minus 44 minus 30, which gives minus 44 plus 30, which is minus 14. Okay, have you understood this? You just have to cross multiply and subtract it. It's not any kind of a big calculation. It's just a small calculation. You have to just cross multiply it and subtract. And next one is you have to find dy. What are you going to find in that? You are going to remove this y coefficients and substitute the constant in the place of y coordinates. So this is Again, we will cross multiply and subtract it. We get minus 50 plus 22, which is minus 28. So now we have d, which is determinant of the whole terms, dx, which is determinant of x, and determinant of y. Okay. So by applying Cramer's rule, which is main Cramer's rule is what? When we divide the determinants. So we know x is equal to dx upon d. That's a Cramer's rule. And what we are going to do, we are going to substitute instead of dx, we are going to substitute the values of dx and d. So what is the value of dx? Right, it's minus 14 and d is 14. So which will, from this we get x is equal to minus 1. The next step was y is equal to dy upon d. Okay, so we get minus 28 upon 14. So value of dy is minus 28. My value of d is 14. And 14 divided by minus 28 is, right, minus 2. So what we get? We get x and y as minus 1 and minus 2. So writing and in the end, we will write it as x and y is equal to minus 1 and minus 2 is the solution. Okay. If you have, this is the easy method. If you go by elimination method, you have to multiply the terms, then subtract it, then again multiply it. It was a lengthy process, but the Cramer's rule, it is an easy process. You have to just find determinants of the numbers. Okay, have you understood it? Okay, so now we will solve. You have to solve the question. Please note down this question and solve. I will help you. Okay, no worry in that. I will ask you question while solving this. Okay, now we know the value of a1, b1, c1. Can anyone tell me? Yes, okay, so a1 is 2, b1 is 1, and c1 is 19. Right. Then next, okay, a2 is 2, b2 is minus 3, and c2 is minus 3. Very good. Now what was the first step? First step was to find the normal determinant of a1, b1, a2, b2, which is 2, 1 and 2 minus 3, which will get, yes, minus 8 is the answer. Right. We just cross multiplied it and subtracted it. The next one is, yes, finding the determinant of x. So what will be the determinant? Right, 19 minus 3 and 1 minus 3 remain same. So what will be the answer? You just have to tell me the answer. You have to solve step by step in your book. But while showing you, I am just going to write the answer here. If you get a correct or not. Okay. Very good. Right. It's minus 54. The next one is, right, dy. What will be the determinant of this dy? Right, minus 54. 44, sorry. 44 only. Very good. Okay. So now this is 3 step you have done clearly. Now what was the next step? By using Cramer's rule. So what is it? Right, x is equal to d of x dx upon d. So substitute the values here. Now tell me the answer. Yes, 54 by 8. You just, if you wrote 54 by 8, it is okay. But I think you should divide the 8 by 54 to get the answer. If it is in a points, that's okay. That's okay, completely okay. But you have to find the answers. If you keep it as it is, that is also okay, fine. The next one is y, which is dy upon d. So which we get 44 upon minus 8. So divide it and find the answer. Right, which is 5 minus 5.5. It have only one minus sign, that's why we get minus 5.5. So the solution of this equation is xy is equal to 6.75 and minus 5.5, which is the solution. So this is all about the Cramer's rule. Okay, now tell me, we will revise it what we have learned today. So what was the first step you in doing Cramer's rule? Yes, we have to find determinant of the terms excluding constant. The next step will be we have to find determinant of x when we do not consider the x coordinates coefficient, you can say, or we just write instead of x coefficient we write constant there. In next step in finding dy we wrote instead of y coordinate we write constant. Next, for finding value of x, we divide determinant of x by d, and for finding value of y, we divide determinant of y by d, which is a Cramer's rule, which is given by Gabriel Cramer, which is in 1750. Okay, he was a genuine mathematician. Okay, so have you understood it? Okay, so this is the homework for you. There are two sums. You have to use Cramer's rule in that. If you have any kind of difficulty while solving this, you can ask me in your next lectures. Okay. So, students, this is for it today. Okay. We will learn more about Cramer's rule or finding the solution in our next lecture. Okay. Bye, students.